With varying degrees of success, many titles that came before Wild Hearts have tried to make a name for themselves in Monster Hunter's shadow. Sure, many of these titles have had their fair share of neat ideas when it came to mixing up the monster hunting formula, but they have yet to match the 2 decades worth of refinement found in Capcom's blockbuster franchise. Despite this, we still love it every time someone takes a shot at the hunting genre. And Wild Hearts is the latest style to try breaking out of the Monster Hunter mold, with fluid combat and the ability to build gadgets in the heat of battle.
Now stay down!
This title has gotten us hyped for a while now, so it's time to see if Omega Force's latest game is gonna breathe new life into the genre. Alrighty then, let's get hunting.
But here we are. This is Minato.
Wild Hearts brings you to the land of Azuma, where beasts known as the kemono rule the land. The people of Azuma were once able to resist the encroachments of these monsters through the use of the ancient technology of KARAKURI, but the secrets of this machinery were lost in time, and their chance of defending what little land they had left from the wild kemono now hangs in the balance. So basically, it's Monster Hunter with a really strong Japanese mythological aesthetic. It's like someone played Monster Hunter Rise and thought, hey, we should make an image glow with even more Japanese stuff in it. Yeah! If you've played Tokenen before, which is another Omega Force franchise, then you'll definitely know that this isn't Omega Force's first rodeo when it comes to making medieval Japan-inspired games. You play as a hunter that you can customize to your liking, and are tasked with slaying kemono to defend the village. A series of events occur at the start of the game that bestow you with the power to control the karakuri. Turns out, you're the only hunter that can do this. So, it's up to you to tame a land gone wild. You know the drill. Create the ultimate kemono hunting machine by endlessly grinding materials and optimizing your build. Take down your prey and grow even stronger as Azuma's most powerful hunter. Wild Hearts has a lot in common with Monster Hunter World when it comes to storytelling. It's an average plot about people figuring out changes in their world caused by the kemono, complete with exposition arcs that thoroughly explain the significance of both the karakuri and the monsters, as well as their connection to one another. It's a story format that Monster Hunter fans are all too familiar with.
Hunt the kemono.
But as per tradition, the real hook of a game like Wild Hearts lies in its hunts. Combat in Wild Hearts is a bit more fluid and responsive compared to recent Monster Hunter entries, but hallmarks of the series still remain. The game also encourages calm and tactical positioning as you deliberately target your opponent, all the while creating a faster flow of battle that manages to put a graceful touch into the weighty movement. That doesn't mean slaying monsters is easier compared to other games. Even the early encounters of kemono exude a real sense of danger that punishes players that fail to focus. Seeing these creatures manipulate nature around them is jaw-dropping, and gets even more intimidating as you start to encounter kemono of mythic proportions. From start to finish, battles features an intense back and forth between you and the monster. It's a dance of well-timed dodges, calculated strikes, and ferocious enemy patterns that's very reminiscent of the well-designed encounters in both Monster Hunter and Dark Souls. True to the genre, you'll have a variety of weapons to choose from. The standard fare of katanas, bows, nodachis, balls, and even the parry-focused bladed wagasa. Each of these feature their own playstyle and gimmicks. Things start to get even more bonkers when you unlock more technical tools such as the heavy-hitting cannon, the claw blade, which is a hook and dagger that allows you to fly like your Levi from Attack on Titan, and the karakuri staff, which transforms into 4 different weapons, kinda like the switch axe and charge blade from MH. The winning formula for any hunting game often lies on how it executes the loop of hunting and upgrading. Just like the combat, character progression is a streamlined version of what Monster Hunter does. You'll hunt, upgrade, then hunt again, as you aim to get strong enough to defeat the kemono threat. But what really sets Wild Hearts apart from other monster hunting games is its karakuri system, or rather, how the concept of karakuri permeates into different systems of gameplay. Nothing encapsulates this more than its use in combat, as players can instantly conjure tools and structures to change the tide of battle. You can bring forth a pile of blocks to attack from above, or you can conjure a spring karakuri to boost you towards a faraway opponent. The more complex fusion karakuri allows players to construct bombs, defensive walls that can topple giant beasts, and even firework mortars to blind airborne kemono. The best part about this is that the controls are intuitive enough to the point that putting these structures up can be easily done in the heat of battle. The boxes give the impression that the building system is kinda like Fortnite, but players will soon find that the building system in both games couldn't have been any more different as you start increasing your repertoire of karakuri. Beyond combat, players can utilize Dragon Karakuri to create camps and forges almost anywhere in the world. Even at times when creating additional camps isn't possible, karakuri that aid in traversal, such as zip lines and wind vortexes, are available to make movement more fun and interesting. These types of karakuri remain in the world even after hunts, and as a result, the game offers players a feeling of control over the hunting grounds in a way that no other game in the genre has done before. I mean, just look at that! Whee! Almost everything in the game, from story, combat, traversal, and even character progression, is intimately tied to the karakuri. The whole build anything, anywhere twist gets even more bonkers when you start playing with friends. Wild Hearts allows co-op with up to 3 players, and boy do things get crazy when you and your buddies start littering wooden contraptions everywhere. With the right coordination and a few mad lads by your side, you can actually box in a kemono with karakuri after karakuri, spamming jump attacks, pounders, and fireworks until it goes down. Playing solo requires a certain level of focus and has a certain rewarding feeling to it. Some of us even prefer to playing in groups. But you might be missing out on what could be a really fun time if you're just playing single player. You can describe the visual aesthetic of Wild Hearts in 4 words: medieval, Japanese, post-apocalyptic. Okay, that's actually 3 words, but anyway, it manages to be a serene depiction of a ruined land overrun by nature. Meanwhile, hulking tigers, giant boars covered in leaves, and flaming peacocks roam about as they impose their will on the landscape. Add in the beautiful soundtrack, and you're in for a very romantic depiction of medieval Japan. The hub town of Minato ain't no slouch either. It may not be as useful as Monster Hunter Worlds as Terra, but the interesting Karakuri punk architecture and level design coupled with unique traversal mitigates any annoyance to be had when being made to visit. The English localization features characters that predominantly speak with a Japanese accent. Certain Japanese words are mixed in with the English script, which can either add a layer of authenticity or cringe to the experience depending on your preference.
Oh yeah? What is all the commotion outside?
If it's not your thing, you can do yourself a favor by switching to Japanese audio. Wild Hearts is a game that has everything it needs to be fun. Like, a lot of fun. But it's time to address the elephant in the room. The game runs like... This is very apparent in the PC version as we got frame rates consistently below 30 at low settings while playing on computers with 30 series GPUs. That's right guys, low FPS, low settings on a high-end PC. It's an unacceptable level of optimization even for the forgiving type of gamer. No matter how you try to move past it, you'll find yourself physically tired after a prolonged session of performance slowdowns. It honestly kinda sucks because unlike mediocre games where the issue was the absence of a good experience, Wild Hearts denies a fun experience that's literally sitting in front of our faces. Wild Hearts is a game with a lot of heart, marred by wild performance issues. When comparing it to our initial impressions on our pre-release video, it's definitely one of the better looking hunting games around, and did deliver a smooth and fluid feel into the combat, while adding an interesting dynamic into the overall gameplay through the Karakuri system. Wild Hearts is more or less a well-streamlined version of Monster Hunter World, rather than a product that has fully set itself apart from it.
I can't quite believe what I just saw.
There was a lot to be excited for in Wild Hearts, and the game did deliver most of it, but fulfilled promises can only do so much in the presence of serious performance issues. This game could have been an 8. We felt that it was going to be an 8 a few weeks ago. But as long as the game runs at this state, regardless of its bright future post-patch, we're giving Wild Hearts a 7 out of 10. You can't just offer gameplay with bad performance at $70. What do you guys think about Wild Hearts? Any cool big brain Karakuri moments? Let us know in the comments below. Until then, this is Game Made Information Station, signing off.